Hi, my name is Jonathan Rutt, and I will be demonstrating how to set up, install, and run an experiment using an Omega wireless receiver and two connectors for thermocouples. So basically, just starting off, this is the box for the receiver. And all you have to do, this is the disc that goes into it. Start by installing the disc. It comes with a USB cable as well as the receiver, a user's guide which you can use as well. It comes with the antenna, the receiver, and the USB cable. So we'll first start off by running the setup. And it says that the installer will guide you through. You click next. You just want to add a desktop item if you'd like. Next. And you can just go through this. It'll store it on the C drive so everybody can use it. And this is the copyright. You can agree to that. And then hit next. It has been successfully installed, so click close to exit. So now what you want to do is, this is the icon for the TC Central, and this is the icon to configure your connectors, your thermocouple connectors to the receiver. So if you click on this and you open up, it says please ensure that the receiver mode is plugged in to a USB port. So you can click yes, and it will see on the bottom left there's no connection. So what you need to do is just take your USB cable, connect it, and then connect it to the box as shown. You can attach the antenna as well. Stand that upright. So now it'll say that there is a connection. And what you have here are all these little boxes are all of the connectors that you can add. You can add up to 48. We're only going to be doing 2, but for right now neither of these are hooked up, so it doesn't show anything here. So now we'll have to add a couple of connectors. So you go over to End Device Configuration, click on that, and it will say the configuration wizard will help you. Follow as shown. You need to connect the USB cable to the end device and the PC. So you unplug your receiver, and we go over. These are the boxes that the connectors come in. It comes with your receiver, which you'll plug in. Okay, and once that is plugged in, it says you can simply click next. And to set this up, what you do is you hold on the on button, and while it's on the on button, you press the setup button. I don't know if I quite did that right, but if you hold the on button and then press the setup button, it should blink green. That means that you can pair the connector with the receiver so it can get your readings. So once you've done that, on your screen, you click next. Oh, there it has. It just takes a second. So it says that it's found it, and you click next to continue. And now it just has some of the basic settings. It is a type K thermocouple. The address is 1. The sample rate, seconds per sample, that's the frequency that it will take temperature. And a couple of other addresses. So then you click next, and it loads this information, and you click finish. And now you may unplug from that. It also comes with an antenna, which is important. So now that that is attached, you can do that for the second one, which is right here. Okay, now that you have that one plugged in and ready for the second one, you get the same thing. It is connected. Now, over here, you hold the on-off button, and while you're holding the on-off button, you press setup, and it should blink green. So you click next, and it says unable to establish. You just need to wait a second, maybe go back, and now it finds it. It's reading the connector settings. And for this one, I'm going to change the transmitter address to 2. Again, it's a type K thermocouple. And we change that to 15, so it's like the other one. And we click next. And it's loading this information onto the connector. We have a success. So we unplug. And we click finish. So now what we will do is plug our receiver back in and put it in a good spot where it will get a good reading on the 2 connectors. We take our 2 connectors and these are the thermocouples that came with both. And before you do this, we need to turn them on. Turn the connectors on. I forgot a step here. So you'll click on TC Central, and it loads. So there's still nothing on either of those. if you look at this connector, it's still in pairing mode, so we need to turn that off. So we need to simply press the on-off button. And now if we turn it on, when we turn it on, this is what pops up. It's titled Untitled 2. It's a Type K thermocouple. Because it's not connected to the thermocouple, it's not giving a temperature reading. It's giving an ambient temperature. And if you click the options, you can change a lot of these. You could change the name. So we can just change that to 2 if you'd like. Doesn't really matter. The address, which is, since it's 2, it's the second box. If you wanted it on the third, it would be over here. You can do either Celsius or Fahrenheit for both the process and the ambient units. The process is the measured temperature that we're going to be doing. The offset calibration, if they're the same temperature, I just have the process being 1 step higher than the ambient temperature. Any other settings you can add over here if you want more decimal places. We can do a decimal place. Okay, and we'll do that for the second as well. So since it's already connected, all you need to do is press on, and they both come on. And we can go to options, and we can just name this one just 1, because the other one's 2. Doesn't really matter. We can give ourselves a decimal point as well, and OK. So next, we will take our connectors and connect them to the thermocouples. Like this. And these thermocouples go all the way inside to inside of this thermocouple goes inside of this brass, and this thermocouple goes inside of there's brass in here. This is a soldering iron, and what I'm basically going to do is this soldering iron is hooked up to a variac, which is voltage controlled heat source, and at the moment it's off. I plan to turn it on and turn it on to about 26 volts, which should be enough power to get some reading. You go over to your computer and you see here there are channels. These are different channels if you have more connectors, and you also have a chart. And what you can do with the chart is, if you go to configure axes up here, you can have your max and your minimum. And for this, because we're only going to be doing positive reads, we'll just do 0. And the left axis title will be temperature. As will the right axis. And the chart title we'll just call soldering iron. So we hit OK, it saves these. So as you can see, it saves our chart. You go up here to start, and it gives you a couple of options. It selects which channels to record. I want to do 1 and 2. I want it to be visible on the chart. I already know what the ambient temperature is. If I go over to channel A, I already know what the ambient temperature is. I'll show you that later. You can Just check what the initial ambient temperature is, and you don't need to put that on your graph. You can choose degrees Celsius, which I did. You can do Fahrenheit as well. Total data points, you can do as many as you'd really like. And the time of the sample, this is the frequency that it measures your samples. You can do 5 seconds, 10 seconds, all the way up to an hour. So I'm just going to do 5 seconds. And those are the settings for 1. So for the first thermocouple, it'll be red. And for the second thermocouple, everything's the same, except for that thermocouple reading will be blue. I expect this one to be a little lower. And you go down to OK, and it will start measuring. And I will show you the end result when it is done. But you can go up to data log, and it logs all these data points. It does the date, the time, the process temperature for the first and the second. And whenever you want to stop, you just click stop. But for now, the ambient temperature, like I said earlier, is right under here for both 25.1.